the supplement correcting the heirs.
We had an early morning filing this morning to make a correction on the nature of the estate.
And then we needed an amended attorney certificate of service. Did you do that one?
Yes.
Okay. And the MERP will be taken care of. Okay. So everybody that's going to testify, raise your right hand, please. Do each of you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay, Mr. Smith, call your applicant
Yes, I'll call Joanna Garcia.
and speak a little loud so we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me, Joanna?
Yes, I can.
You are the spouse and widow of Armando Flores, correct? This Junior?
Yes, correct.
What was his date of death?
It was on March 17 of March 15 of 2021.
Yes. And on the date of his death, he did not have a will, is that correct?
Correct.
And you have two children by him, is that correct? What are their names?
Yes, Armando Flores III and Adeline Flores.
And how old are they?
He is 8 and she is 5.
And to your knowledge, Armando had another child, his name was Matthew, correct?
Correct.
And that was by another spouse, another companion or spouse, correct?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, and knowing Armando as well as you have, how long were you married to him?
10 years.
At any time during those 10 years, did he ever talk about any other children besides Matthew?
No.
Would he have told you about any other children besides Matthew?
Yes.
And you're satisfied that he had 3 children, Matthew and your 2, correct?
Correct.
And you want the court to establish that fact of heirship as part of the hearing today, is that correct?
Yes.
And that you were married to him during your entire relationship with him and at the time of his death, correct?
Correct.
No further questions?
All righty, Mr. Briggs.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, do you believe that Armando was the sort of person who would have told you if he had had any other children other than the 3 that we've described today?
Yes.
Okay. And is he the sort of man who would have accepted responsibility to pay child support and that sort of thing for any other child that he would have had?
Yes, he did for Matthew.
Okay. And did you ever hear anything from anyone else in Armando's family that indicated that there might be another child out there somewhere that you did not know about?
No.
Did anyone come forward at Armando's funeral indicating that they were a child or that they had had a child with Armando?
No.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
Mr. Briggs, call the first disinterested witness.
I would call Rubina Jurado.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, would you please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Rubina Flores Jurado.
Ms. Jurado, how are you related to Armando Flores?
He was my cousin.
And so you knew him all your life.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask you some of those similar questions to what I've asked you before. Do you believe that the only children that Armando had were the 3 that we've described here for the court today?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you knew about his older child?
I did.
And you knew about the 2 younger children, correct?
Yes.
And do you believe Armando would have told you if he had had any other children other than those 3?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay. And you've never heard anyone discuss anything about any other children, correct?
No, sir.
All right. And you believe that Armando would have accepted responsibility for any other child?
Most definitely.
He would have embraced that child and taken care of them as his responsibilities as a father?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'll ask you the same question. Have you ever heard anyone ever come forward either at the funeral or at any time indicating that they were a child of Armando other than the 3 that we've talked about today?
No, sir.
All right. Very well. Your Honor, I would pass the witness.
Mr. Smith, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Call the next witness, Mr. Briggs. Thank you, ma'am. Call the next witness,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Briggs.
Your Honor, I would call Alvin Caudillo.
Go ahead.
Mr. Caudillo, would you please state your name for the record?
Alvin Caudillo.
And Mr. Caudillo, how did you know Armando Flores?
I was a friend of his.
Okay. And how old were you when you first met Armando Flores?
It was about 8 years ago. I might have been 26.
Okay, so you were significantly younger than Mr. Flores, correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that you and Mr. Flores were close friends?
I do, yes, sir.
Do you believe that Mr. Flores would have disclosed to you if he had had any children other than the three that are described before the court today?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
All right. And he never told you anything like that?
No,
did he?
sir.
All right. And he cared about the children that he did have?
Yes, sir, he did.
And you believe he would have accepted responsibility for any others?
Absolutely.
And you never heard anything from any family members or other friends that indicated that Mr. Flores had any other children other than the three that we've described before the court today?
No, sir.
Very well. Your Honor, pass the witness.
Mr. Smith,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Briggs, how many hours?
Just one, Your Honor.
You didn't put anything where it shows that light and fees, Mr. Smith, for future use. Just add it, okay?
We'll submit that in the order this morning, Your Honor.
Pardon?
We'll submit that this morning with an order for payment of ad valorem fees.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna write it in here.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
But in the future, just put a paragraph. And the other
Yes.
thing is, when you divide property on a spouse that has passed away, where there's children from a previous marriage, where it says share of community property for the surviving spouse, don't put 1/2, because what you're saying is that she's gonna take 1/2 of his share. That 1/2 of his share is going to the children. So if you wanna put anything, you share of community property for Joanna Garcia, the spouse, widow, is she keeps her 1/2 interest in the property. That's it.
Got it, Your Honor. I understand.
Alrighty. The court after hearing, and I'm very, very sorry for your loss,
Thank you.
all of you. So the court after hearing testimony it finds that the heirs of Mr. Armando Flores have been identified and will sign the appropriate orders. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
And you'll take care of Mr. Briggs, Mr. Smith.
Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I know where to find Mr. Smith, Your Honor.
Yes,
too.
thank you.
Bye-bye.